different things like that. But definitely thinking about what's going on inside and that inner intuition, we call our gut feeling this time. Yeah. So, all righty.
We're on. Okay.
We're on. All right. Well, great day, everyone, and welcome to Nirodha. Today, we are going to talk about our solar plexus, right? Our solar plexus is the energy center or our chakra that is located in the center of our body, the abdomen area, the stomach, what most of us may call it. The color associated, I'm sorry, I looked for yellow. I had on yellow. It did not work today for whatever reason. Um, Yellow is associated with the solar plexus. I like to say yellow, like the rays of the sun. And imagine that when you think about the solar plexus, the sun is beaming down on your belly and it's warming up and igniting that light, and that confidence, that boldness, that personal strength that you need inside. And each time you think about that yellow beam of sun shining in on that part of the body, just imagine that it's distributing confidence, personal strength, willpower, the ability to use your intuition. We call that space the gut feeling, right? And most of us have had a time in our life where we're like, oh, I should have listened to my gut, right? It's like an internal um, GPS or guidance system. It tells you. I know it's what I used to use as a child a lot before. Socially, I came to be taught like, this is right, this is wrong. It's kind of like that innate feeling that we have inside, like, is this something that I should be doing or not, right? And being okay with listening to your internal guidance system and know that it's there for you to protect you, right? I also wanted to talk about and relate the solar plexus to summer solstice, which was yesterday. It's signified by, of course, the longest day of the year, which actually means the sun was up higher in the sky, so it took it a little bit longer to set, right? But summer solstice to some, again, relates to the solar plexus. It signifies bringing together balance of the inner self and the outer world, balance in our emotions, balance in our lives, right? Balance in our inner peace and awareness, right? It also signifies a light, a brightness, a joy, right? When you think about summer, you think about those type of things like, oh, it's going to be warm. Things are going to come back to life because over winter they die out, you know. But when you think about summer, I know for me, when I think about summer, inwardly, I begin to light up and feel like, oh yeah, summer's going to come. It's going to be bright, sunny days. They're going to be longer. It's going to be a different type of air. And also thinking about what that means internally, right? For some of us, it may mean renewal, maybe renovating a house or different things, maybe even a move, you know what I'm saying? Or just some new refreshing of things, right? Summer brings that new as well, refreshing, right? And I'm learning with each season, if we look at it, it's really telling us a lot about ourselves as well, and if we're really aware, at each season we have to shed things in order to make room for more. But what we do a lot as creatures of habit and socialization, we don't really shed things. We keep them. We keep them until they become an issue. And then we're like, oh, what is this? We got to get it off, right? But we were kind of talking about maintaining that, finding that, whatever it is. I know when I first started meditating, I would get better and say, oh, I'm cool. I don't need that. Then something happened. I'd be like, oh, I know what I could do. I can meditate. And then one day, 2014, actually, around this time, I made the conscious decision that this is just going to have to be part of my lifestyle. And now it's gotten to maybe 3 days I can go without breathing or consciously sitting down. And then I'll start to feel a little heaviness and say, what am I feeling like? Oh, or what is some things I can't handle? Because sometimes heaviness just comes like, why am I feel like I can't handle things and stuff I've always been handling, right? But I learned being self-aware, and almost 99% of the time when I'm feeling heavy, if I say to myself, well, what are you feeling heavy about? Almost the first thing comes up, you haven't been practicing, right? And when I talk about practice, I'm not talking about sometimes what we see others do 40 and 50 minutes in an hour. That's a gradual progression. It can happen if that's what you practice, but I'm really talking about 3 to 5 minutes a day in the morning and maybe 3 to 5 minutes at night. So you do that in the morning before you leave out of the house. And 3 to 5 minutes is about, for real, depending on how you breathe. It's no more than about 21 breaths, right? For real, right? You deserve in yourself that, to offer yourself that. You do that in the morning before you go out into this world, because once you're out there, it's coming. And it's no bracing yourself. You have to be trained to really be out there, embrace yourself, and be like, oh, I know what to do. Just breathe, right? Because we're reactive, right? And then I suggest doing it at night because it's a way of taking off that stuff and visualizing what you want the next day to be like. And if you do it, I used to be a person that had nightmares, but the more I do that, the less those type of dreams can come in because I'm setting my mind at what I wanted to think about when I'm dreaming or when I'm sleeping, right? And so just giving yourself 10 minutes a day, totally, really, between 3 to 5, and staying with the practice and making it part of a lifestyle so that even when you're not here with us, that you're still maintaining. Because to come here once a week or whenever we can make it, we have to do more for ourselves, right? So, any questions or comments, thoughts, suggestions? I always want you to be engaged because I just think learning, I have to learn from you, you learn from me. It's not just this one person stage up here, right? So, what are you thinking?
Well, I do the deep breathing practice in the morning, and then when I drive, um, sometimes at night too. When I do yoga, I try to apply that deep breathing practice too. So, like, and I do it in the shower in the morning because I don't have time to sit down. I just, on the go all the time. So, I do it as I brush my teeth or change clothes. So, I think we talked about doing the deep breathing in any position. So in the morning I do it mostly standing because I don't have to sit down. Even when I pray, I have you know, every morning I pray, and during my prayers, I apply the deep breathing also. So I try to get it in.
Cool.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what the progression is, just making this deep breathing and mindfulness a part of everything that you do. You're washing the dishes, you're sweeping the floor, you're cleaning up, you know what I'm saying? Just brushing your teeth, that you're making that and you're being conscious of, let me breathe.
I noticed for me, um, it got to be really hectic and busy and stressful, very, very stressful. So my lupus really flared up. And one of the things, just seeing Dr. Tran and also just really looking at the past 5 weeks, 5, 6 weeks is I really did not, I would do my breathing, but I wasn't really fully into it. So yeah, I can tell where I would slip and not do it as long as I used to do, or really be more conscious of it. I would try to do it so would help me to kind of relax my body and fall asleep. But I noticed that I was hanging on to too much stuff. So, yeah, my sleep pattern was off and my breathing was really off.
Cool. And so, if I may ask, what helps you to keep it on?
Um,
Meaning your breathing pattern. What helps you to um, bring that back into regulation, if I may say?
I think I need to shut everything off. With me living by myself and being alone now, I feel so alone sometimes, and I have the TV on or the music on, or there's always something that's outside noise. And I really had to just turn everything off and just kind of, because, and not to be so distracted by other noises, whether it was even just sometimes my fan would just, would kind of, I would listen to the click, the click, click, whatever of the ceiling fan. And I'm going, wait a minute, that's not, I'm concentrating more on that than really just taking my deep breaths and holding it and counting it and relaxing and just really be there, be completely present.
Gotcha. And sometimes that's what needs to happen, just like you said. And that becomes that's a thing of being aware of who you are, right? Because another person may in fact need that fan, to be able to calm down first. Like, let's just, I'm so thinking about, just let's focus on that click. But I like that you understand that what I was doing was using this for a lot of really distraction so that I couldn't be quiet and go deep, because that's how I kind of had to do, like, shut everything down. And now this surprises me. I could ride in the car for hours. I could be at home, not have a TV on, not have any music on, and just listen to my thoughts. But I had to get there, because what I realized is the reason why I had the music playing, or every day would get up and just turn on the news or whatever, I didn't want to hear my inner voices. Yeah. And when you don't really want to hear what's going on inside, because more than likely it doesn't feel good. Because if it feels good, like now I'm authentically in myself, that's why I could be quiet and I want to hear what Tiffany is saying and what she's feeling and how she's feeling. But before, no, I don't want to, because those feelings and those thoughts innerly were not good. And you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable for a while to really hear your inner thoughts, because we've been socialized to say it's everybody else and it's everything else and it's outside and they're making me and he's doing it and she's doing it and that tree doesn't like me and that bush is getting on my nerves. But really, it's in here. It's in here. And if you be quiet, you can really hear it. But that's the strategy of today. Going inside and being okay with being quiet. Right. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Oh, so if you just put it there, you can hear it from everybody. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I'm a newbie on all this, but what I find useful is like when I'm studying and I start to like lose focus, breathing helps get my mind back in focus.
Yes, yes, that's one of the tools of breathing too.
Kind of a different application from what you guys are talking about, because I don't really use it to clear my mind because my mind is pretty settled. But for focus, because I'm doing like lots and lots of drill questions, it's like, just get weary after a certain point of all that. And so being able to just take the deep breaths and relax, that helps put them on.
Right. And I
back and do more.
Right? And I think we are all kind of saying the same thing, but differently, because when we talk about clearing our mind, it's really non-focused. You see what I'm saying? When you're talking about, I got to do some more, but I got to let my mind rest for a little bit so I can. It's really getting focused and going inwardly, like we're saying. So that is what I found that breath work helps me most with being focused and attentive to what really is going on and not the perception of what our eyes say. Right? Because our eyes, so counting is being more, math is being more of my good skill, if you see where I'm going. So it's 5 of us in here, right? But each of us have a different experience through our eyes, even in this room. You see what I'm saying? So all of our experiences are different when it comes to who we are, first of all, but especially what our eyes see, because our eyes aren't always what really is going on inside. It's just the perception that we've kind of lined up to say, oh, that's a chair. That's Dr. Chan right there. Okay? So we all have a different experience from our eyes. And that's why you always hear me say when we're meditating, close your eyes. Because once you close your eyes, or maybe stare when you're not letting them, because they're our only external portal that transmits activity right to our brain. So when we close our eyes, we shut some of that activity down of what our eyes are perceiving for us. And then we can get to be able to go in a little bit easier once we shut out what we're perceiving and seeing. Or if that's a plant, if that's a flower, just shut it out. And then you can go a little deeper inside when you don't have that visual moving around, right? Cool. Anybody else? Okay.
I mean, if I run into something like stress, and I recognize right away why hearing nothing or know nothing happening, this is not going to happen. So when I realize I'm stressed about something,
Yeah.
and I don't really sit down for 10 or 30 minutes long, but I kind of recognize all day work, something, I hear something, and then maybe it's stress, and I'm like, no, I kind of like bring myself back right away. And then it's calmed me down. And I do like a few times, and then I sort of get release whatever like stress going in my mind. So I've been doing that.
Cool. And that's cool because now you're using the tools that you have had. And that's sort of how it goes. Like, I say, just for me, I notice though. And I don't even have to do it for a long time. And sometimes it is just stand here at the door because I got to go, right? But it's like, do not leave without getting your breathing in to get you settled, right? And like you said, when you see it coming, instead of reacting, just saying, okay, let me breathe first. You know what? Let me go inside. Maybe again, because a lot of times when you go inside and take that breath, it's not really what your eyes has told you it is. You see, like I'm saying, it's a different reality than what you see from what you go inside. And when you go inside and take those breaths, it's like that breath actually speaks to you like, no, that's not it. You don't even have to react like that's not even that deep. Yeah. That's not what that person is saying. Because what we don't really realize is when we are in a reactive mode, we stop breathing. We do. We do. And I always say thank you to the creator because we are just breathing, right? But most of us are not breathing properly. Would you agree with that, Dr. Tran? She's the doctor here on it. Most of us are not breathing properly. And I used to tell my son this all the time because anytime he stresses, he'll just start sweating. And I'm like, don't ever do anything wrong because, buddy, you're going to give it away because you just, and he recently turned 30. We're 31 now. And he finally was like, I think I got it. The reason why I break out into sweats like that is because I don't breathe. And I'm like, what? Never been to any of my meditation classes. That's how it goes. Hey, You can't.
No.
You can't force them. They got to come on their own if they want to or whatever, right? But somewhere he's doing it, right? Because in order for him to know that he's not breathing, he must have started breathing somewhere. Would you agree? Or practicing this, right? And so he gets to that though. He was like, I know this now, and I'm just saying, just stop and breathe, Dominique. It's gonna be okay. Breathe. And he was like, you've been telling me this for years, but I'm like, yeah, okay, mother. He was like, but I realize it now. I'm not breathing. Like, I'm alive for whatever reason. And I'm like, oh, that's just the creator just gives us breath and hopefully we'll figure this thing out. He was like, but I really realized that a lot of the times I'm not breathing. And so I talked to him this last week and he was like, I was about to break out in sweats. And I said, and what did you do? He was like, I sat and said, no, breathe. And he was like, and it actually started calming my sweat down. And I'm like in my car on the other side, like, you can't give them too much because then they'll be like, nah, she thinks I'm, but I'm at myself, I'm like, yeah, he's getting this thing, right? Without me having to force or say, you need to. And he does. He's 31. He's dealing with diabetes and different things. But I learned that you can't force things on people, and especially with a child parent. The more you try to force something, the more they're gonna buck. When you start playing reverse psychology and like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can eat that if you want. Hey, that's what's gonna happen though. Hey, then they start kind of being like listening more, right? But I said that out to say that most of us aren't breathing, right? We aren't. We just got the breath for the Creator that has a love for us, but we're not breathing properly. Cool. All right, so if no one else has anything to say, we'll go ahead and start our breathing meditation for today. Is that cool? All right, cool. So I want you to begin to bring yourself into a comfortable position, right? And like someone mentioned today, that could be standing up if that's for you, right? Remember, this is your practice. And I'm the guide. However, allow your body to do what your body wants to do. Remember, we all have an internal guidance system, and it knows exactly what our bodies need. Right? So the invitation is to begin to bring your body into that quiet, centering position. One that feels good to you and your body, and one that allows the air and the breath to move up and out of the body freely. The invitation is to close your eyes if closing your eyes is comfortable. If closing your eyes is not comfortable, then maybe find a focal point that's right in front of you where you can begin to gaze or to still the eyes. When we close our eyes or we gaze our eyes, which are our only external portal that transmits activity to our brain, we begin to allow the brain to shut down its activity and the outside distractions begin to lessen. The invitation is to begin to deepen your breath. And one way that we deepen our breath in yoga by taking deep inhales in through the belly or through the nose and sending the air to the belly, the lungs, and the chest. And lengthen exhales by drawing or contracting the navel back towards the spine. And you let that dry, stale energy come up and out, leaving out the chest, the lungs, and the belly. And you're always breathing. You're always inhaling and filling the belly with clean, new energy and breath. And you exhale and you let things go. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now the mind is becoming really quiet, and the body becoming still. The invitation is to set an intention for today's practice. That is a I am or I will statement. Something that's positive about yourself, or whenever you think about it, it causes you to feel warm and fuzzy inside. It puts a smile on your face. So that when the mind begins to wander, as it does, you're just going to allow that to happen, resisting our temptations to judge, to criticize, to label, to stop, even to change our thoughts. Just allow thought, the feeling that tends to come behind or with the thought, then move back to your breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. The body is soft and free of any tension, any tightness. Notice if you're holding any spaces tight or with tension. And if you are, ask those parts of the body to begin to soften, speaking kind and gentle words, softening that area of the body. For example, our jaws and our cheeks. We tend to hold our jaws and our cheeks tightly clenched together, or our teeth are grinding, even when we're resting. So notice if you're holding your jaws and your cheeks tight. Maybe create a small space between the lips to allow the air to be able to move freely through the body. Our neck and our shoulders. Once again, unawarely, we tend to hold our shoulders high and shrugged up towards our ears. Notice if you're holding your shoulders tight, and just begin to lower the shoulders, bring them down and away from the ears, and maybe allow the arms to rest in the lap or the palms on the knees, heavy like noodles. Keep in mind, this is your practice. Allow your body to move with the energy within. What do I mean? Some bodies may be saying, extend the legs. Some may be asking for the neck to make a few neck circles and remove any tension that you may be holding in the neck. Other bodies may be asking to stretch the arms up. Get a long stretch, like you're first waking up from a good night's rest. Keep in mind, this is your practice. Follow what your body desires. Your body knows what your body needs. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring your breath and your awareness to your belly, the solar plexus, space where you hold confidence, boldness, your personal strength. And see if you're able to envision the color yellow. Yellow, like the rays of the sun. And imagine that the sun is warming your belly. The bright light from the rays of the sun is shining down and directly beaming on your solar plexus. She's warming up and igniting, or he, the confidence and the boldness, personal strength, the belief in your inner self that you can create the lives of your desires. And each time you inhale, see that yellow light of the sun growing larger and larger. She's distributing. He's distributing confidence, boldness, inner alignment and guidance, and the personal strength to believe in yourself, to create, and to live the life that you desire. Inhale success, whatever that looks like to you. And exhale and let go of self-doubt. Inhale, boldness and confidence. And let go of the need to please others. Inhale, the long-term legacy that you desire. And let go any thoughts and feelings that no longer suit your well-being. Inhale, balance, and let go of inconsistency and distraction. See that light. Feel that warmness right there in the belly. Experience that electrifying feeling that's moving through your body. Inhale, fill the belly with air, clean and new energy. And exhale, let go. Inhale and exhale. You are safe. You are secure. You are supported. You are loved. You belong. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Feel the calmness in your breathing. Feel the synergy in the body. That's your breath. It's your inhale and your exhale, causing you to feel calm, centered, clear, and connected. Inhale and exhale. Stay with the breath. Stay focused on your inhale and exhale. Any thought that comes, allow the thought. Resist the temptation to judge, to criticize, to label, to stop, or to change the thought. Just allow. Maybe imagine the thought is like a leaf that has fallen from a tree. And as the wind blows, the leaf blows. And eventually the leaf blows away with the wind where it's no longer in sight. Allow that thought to be the same. But you just let it blow away, drift away without judgment, without criticism or labeling it good or bad, positive or negative, right or wrong. And just let that thought float away, becoming aware of who you are without judgment and without criticism. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Your next exhale, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, making small circular motions, maybe with your wrists and your ankles, slowly beginning to wake up the body and become aware of the space in which you're holding. And maybe take the arms and reach them far above the head. And maybe stretch up long, like you're getting a good stretch from a long, great night's rest. Maybe, yeah, there you go. Just stretch it out. Move some of that energy through the body. All right. Maybe slowly blink a few times before opening the eyes all the way. Take a few moments and we're going to reflect on the energy that you're feeling moving through your body, right? The energy that you are feeling or experiencing that it's moving through your body, right? Just take a few more moments and take your time to wake up, no rush. But thinking about what is the energy that is moving through your body, what that feels like, and maybe even identifying where that energy is flowing from. Any comments? What's the energy flowing through your body? Let's talk about that a little bit. What are you feeling like? Where are you having any feelings? And maybe what are those feelings?
Well, for me, as we practice, I feel my body heat or my body temperature change. So there was a moment when the whole body moved. I felt hot,
Okay.
and then
Okay. Okay.
So,
When the body felt hot,
mhm.
are you able to identify what that felt like? Like the warmness, I understand, but what was it? Excitement? Was it a kind of like a fear of what's happening? Like what was that feeling?
No, it was an excitement of fear. I think it's just like my body feeling. It felt warm, and it made me be more aware of the sensation in my body.
Okay.
But it's like I couldn't tell. I assumed that it originated from inside my body, but it's like I just felt it all over.
Cool. So you can't.
It was hot.
Can you identify where it originated from?
No, I don't
Nope.
think so.
Okay.
I just suddenly I felt the whole body just warmed up.
I like that. I'm smiling because yeah, in this practice, when that happens, we call it the synergy of the Kundalini. You know about the Kundalini?
No.
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Won't you guys look that up and do some research on that? The Kundalini, right? It's the serpent-like energy that we all have. And it's lying dormant in our root chakra or the base of our spine, right? And when we do practices such as meditation, we begin to, especially the meditation that I do, because it's called chakra meditation, what I'm actually doing. And so I'm purposely activating the chakras in our body, which are, we talked about, those are our energy centers, right? And we have 7 of them that we focus on. But when we're doing practices such as these, they are there to stimulate that and to wake up our Kundalini, and you feel that energy, right? And the best way for me to really describe it, that you, most of us, if not all, have a visual picture of, is the tree of life that yogis use a lot. And you see that tree, right? Even on my logo, it's a tree as well, right? But each of us have our own tree of life inside. It starts like our spine is like would be the trunk of our trees, right? And when we do practices such as meditation, we're stimulating and activating our limbs of our trees. This is really scientific. It's called neuroplasticity. Do you know about neuroplasticity? Right. That we can regenerate. Yep, you know about that too. We can regenerate our brain cells and our bodies as well, right? But that's what we're really doing. So when we do these type of practices weekly, daily, we are really energizing and activating our individual trees of life, right? And the idea is for it, just like she's saying, she's feeling it, for it to spread out into all spaces. And so eventually inside, we all create our own tree inside where the energies go out. And that's when we get to see people's auras, right? where we can actually, I've experienced this before, where I could actually see a person's aura outside of them and say, oh, there's a green light, a red light, similar to the rainbow, right? And so these type of practices do electrify that, and it's not abnormal that you feel that inside and that tingling sensation. Like if we were in church, we would call it the Holy Ghost. So you get that fire in your bones and you can't sit down, right? That's why I always go back to, if your body is saying shake or you feel like that, you don't have to sit there and be like, well, Tiffany's saying, no, do what your body's saying, because sometimes that synergy is so much that I have to actually be like, oh, I got to get up. I got to move this out and move it around. Not like I'm trying to get rid of it, but it's just like, oh, what is this feeling? So no matter where we are in practice, always follow your body, because your body knows what. And when I start saying that, some of us started going here with our heads and some of us started moving our legs or whatever. So feel free to move around. You don't have to just sit there and, right? If your body's saying that, of course. But a lot of times when we get to doing this, the energy is saying like, oh, I want to move. I want to move. And then ourselves are like, no, we're supposed to be still. We're meditating. You're not. Cool. Anybody else? How you feeling? What's the energy moving through your body, Emily?
Healing.
Cool.
Been in a lot of pain, so just like you said, it's my body. I needed to move, switch a little bit, just kind of adjust. So, felt, while I was meditating, breathing, feeling just like some of those toxins were just being exited out of my body.
That's happening.
Yeah.
In fact, scientifically, that is happening. When you're breathing, it's just like they taught us in school. I always relate it to the tree at the outside. We breathe in the oxygen, we let go of the carbon dioxide. So when you're breathing in, you're revitalizing each cell you are, and we do have the ability to heal ourselves with breath. And then what you're feeling, you're letting go. Anything that no longer suits you, you're let go of that. I don't need it anymore. I need more breath to heal and to expand. Cool. So you're feeling that. That's your breath. It is. You felt that energy too? Yeah. And sometimes I close my eyes because I'll be going there with y'all, right? But then I'll be like, open your eyes, Tiffany. You have to know what's going on. And so I could kind of see it, like sometimes your eyes will be like, and I'm like, okay, she's feeling it. She's feeling it. Yeah, it's really fun to me. It's like, because when I was younger, I used to say, oh, I'm going to hypnotize people. But hypnotizing then was, sit down in this chair, and I'm going to have this, what I didn't know then was a pendulum, and I'm going to do all this stuff. But when I look at what I studied, psychology, and now what I'm doing, sometimes when you all are there, I'm like, you really are hypnotizing people. You don't really have this little instrument, but your voice and the way that you take them there, and you can see what's going on or whatever. So when y'all come out and I'm smiling, don't think anything like she's weird. Because I'm like, oh, I saw that. Okay, they're letting that go. They're feeling their inner energy, right? You got anything you want to say, sir?
I got to say something funny.
Okay.
Well, so I'm in a room here with 4 hot women.
Practicing is fun, and you're right. You are in the room with 4 hot women. That's right.
Yeah, so this is serious. I really enjoyed your voice
cool
during the session. For the last 3 days, I've had lower back issues, probably from just sitting too much and studying. I found the breathing very relaxing, and my back is feeling great. Maybe it's also because I'm sitting higher.
Cool. It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
It eases pain.
It could be.
Meditation eases.
And that's what I was going to say. We're going to say that could be, but a lot of it, I would say, has to do with breathing, right? Because a lot of times especially with our backs, it is coming from a lot of sitting, right? And not taking those frequent getting up and stretching and moving. Because once we're there, we're like, we're going to sit here and get this done and then we'll move, right? But then when we finish, what we move is to the bed because by then we're really tired and we're like, oh, no, I'm tired, right? But moving, because this part of the body holds our creativity, you know, how we're going to create, how we express ourselves, the wellness and balance. And a lot of times when we're having back pain, it's just what we have let those compress, right? And when you're breathing, you're expanding, right? Expansion, making room, right, in the body. And this lower back needs a lot of expansion, right? If we think about it, it's like, if we could, two different parts. This holds on this part, this holds, right? And you got to take care of that, right? Cool. Anybody else? Anybody else? Nope. Cool. All right, listen, I do want to do one more practice. It's not really the solar plexus. It's part of the root chakra, right? But it's more focused on our feet, right? Now, I don't know if you all do this. It's a Ayurvedic practice, right? But massaging your feet, right? So, you got on some socks. I don't know how comfortable you are with your feet in a room with 4 hot women, but yes, we're going to do some exercises with massaging our feet, right? Because our feet are the foundation, for real. We stay on these feet, we walk on them, and a lot of times, if we're honest, we forget about how precious these feet are. How many of us massage our feet on a weekly, on a daily? Nope. But we walk on them, we depend on them to work, don't we? If we wake up and they don't, we're like, what can we do? Right? You got to learn your whole life over without this, right? So let's just begin to take our hands and just gently, however you want, just massage, right? Just begin to, and I tend to like to do this at nighttime after I take a shower. And I use like essential oils for my body, y'all. I mix them whatever I like. So I have a combination right now of coconut, avocado, olive oil, little lanolin, vitamin E, whatever kind of oils you like, right? You can get that on there just like Dr. Tran is doing and maybe roll it around a few. So you do this, Dr. Tran, because you're already going to where I'm going. She does this. She's has before if she doesn't do it on a regular, right? Just really show that foot some love. And maybe that heel and that little ankle part. Again, another part of the body that we just look over, right? Right there in that arch, right? And maybe bring it all the way up to each toe, right? Start at that arch and then just move up to each toe. And the synergy that you're going to feel after this in your feet, it's going to probably make you want to do this more often, for real. You're going to be like, oh my God, my feet feel good. Now, I want you to take your hand and spread it like this, right? For most of us, this is going to be a little uncomfortable because none of us really do this with our toes, right? But I want you to take your fingers and put them in between each toe, maybe to the first knuckle if you can, right? Yeah, my friend here doesn't want to take off these socks, but maybe at home. Maybe at home you can do this, right? Because this really works. Listen, then put those fingers in there. It is going to be a little uncomfortable at first. And then spread the fingers, right? Spread the fingers first. Basically, like spreading the toes apart, which we don't do either, and give them any space. Yep, you feel that. Yeah, you do. You do.
I barely have toes.
All right. They're small. Just for a little second, just breathe. And I always remember to breathe, right? Then I want you to squeeze them, right? Squeeze it as tight as you can without breaking it. Don't break it. But squeeze, right? And you're always breathing. See, something like this, we want to hold our breath. We breathe. Send that energy to the feet. And now I know that you're starting to feel that in the toes, the difference, like, oh, I do have a pinky toe there. And release. Just gently, listen, just slide the fingers out. Okay. Bend the toes backwards. Feel that in that ball of the foot. And take it forward and just bring it in. And maybe wiggle the toe a little bit. Wake it up. Maybe on the top side too. There you go. I love when they do this when I get a pedicure. I'm like, oh yeah, do that more. All right, then just gently rub. Now, take a moment and see if you can feel the difference between the foot that you have massaged and the foot that you haven't.
Different colors too.
Yep. See the blood circulation, right? You saw that, right? That one you done is a lot lighter. Yep. You see that? All right. Now the other side wants some loving. All right. Just gently begin to massage. Like I said, my growing practitioner had us do this about a month ago in a class, and I was like, I kind of forgot about my feet too. And since then, it's like, don't forget about those feet. It's just a different energy, right? And remember, the feet have chakras as well, right? It's part of the root chakra, but it also has, our body has thousands of energy centers actually. And even in these toes, when they stimulate, it goes all the way up to the pineal gland. Yeah, the body. There you go. Roll that ankle around. Take it in different directions. Make sure you rub in that arch and that heel. Then you're going to spread your fingers and you're going to take them in between those toes too. Open up those hands so you can get some space and expansion in between those tight toes of ours. Right? Here you go. Just spread the fingers. And then squeeze it. Get that squeeze. Feel that different stimulation. Those toes, really squeeze it in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. But you're always breathing. Again, when we do things like this, we tend to want to hold our breath. Just breathe through it. Slide the fingers out and take the toes forward and feel that bend as you bring the toes towards the front of the foot. And take them back, fold them in. Don't forget about that pinky toe, because my toe is so little, sometimes it slips and I have to rub it out. Yeah, it's short and fat. Maybe rub a little bit and then Ooh, okay. Wow. How's that feel? Wonderful, right?
Myself a foot massage like that before.
That's exactly what I call it.
My toes. And,
Yeah, it feels good.
yeah.
It does. Especially when I think like you, when I spread them, it's like, oh, you never even thought about, stretching that and getting that space in there, right? Cool. How you feel? Good?
My toes really flexible. I can stretch just by itself.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They call it like what? Reflexology. So people actually do this work in the toes, in the feet. All right, cool. Yep. Reflexology.
stroke and balance issues, reflexology and
Feet.
Who's that?
in England.
Oh,
Feet. Yeah. Yes. And I just recently met someone. He has a YouTube channel. It's called Soul, SOLE, Full. And that's what he does. And we've been doing some filming on him showing mindfulness with the toes, right? We just kind of met at the park, but he does a lot of, he's a reflexologist and a YouTuber, and that's what he does. But he does a lot of work with the feet, and we'd be surprised if, like you said, some of these ailments that are directly associated to the feet. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna do about 5 more minutes of meditating. All right, I'm gonna put that all together and how that feels in the body, back to the focus on the belly. Right.
Lay down.
Oh, I was gonna ask everybody to lay down, but I didn't know where everybody was at, if that's what they wanted to do. But I was. So if that's something you want to do, cool. If something you don't, you can sit up. Okay. Cool. I was gonna say that because I just tend to like to do that on the belly. All right, cool. All right, so if everybody would come back into a centering position, one that feels good to you in your body, one that allows the air and the energy to flow freely up and out of the body. I want you to bring your breath and your awareness to the space in your body, the abdomen area, the solar plexus, where you hold your confidence and your personal strength. I want you to begin to deepen your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Maybe the eyes are closed if that's comfortable to you. If not, maybe they're gazed at a focal point. The eyes are becoming still, allowing the energy in the body to become settled. Your breath and awareness is right there in the center of your belly. And see the color yellow. And allow this yellow beam to shine into the body. Give the body permission to be confident, to be bold, to be complete, and filled with the personal strength needed to have the life that you desire. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And notice how calm, how centered and clear the mind, the body, and the spirit that lies within you, the light, feels when you're breathing. When you're inhaling new, clean air and breath, and you're exhaling and letting go of carbon dioxide and dry, stale, no longer needed energy and air. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. That calm, clear, connected energy, that's your breath, that's your inhale and your exhale, that's causing your body to feel calm, the mind to feel clear and centered and connected. Mind, body, and light. Inhale and exhale. That's your pure consciousness, who you really are. That light feeling, nothingness, and safety and security. That's your true and authentic being. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Stay with that light. Stay calm and centered, clear and connected through your breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On your next exhale, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, making small circular motions, your wrists and your ankles. Slowly beginning to wake up the body. And take the arms above the head and get a long stretch, like you're first waking up from a good night's rest. And if you're lying down, point those toes and stretch those arms. Feel that expansion in the midsection of the body. Exhale and soften. Let's do that 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, reach, expand, reach, reach. Exhale and soften. Last time. Inhale, reach up, expand. Feel that body expand in the center. Make room for more. Exhale. Let it all go. Okay. Slowly beginning to wake up the body and become aware of our space in which we're holding. Okay. Slowly begin to roll over to the side. There you go. And maybe just lie there for a moment like a baby. And if you're sitting up, maybe just take the arms and cross them across the chest and give yourself a really big hug. Show yourself some love and appreciation, gratitude, right? Appreciate love. Show yourself that gratitude for committing to practice today, right? It's a nice, beautiful day. We could have easily skipped, but we made that commitment to ourselves and to one another. Just love on yourself. There you go. I like that, Dr. Tran, just taking those elbows up, getting some rotation in those shoulders. Right? Move that energy through the body. A lot of times the energy is stagnant, wanting to be moved, right? And it just takes little simple things as such. Right? It does. And then whenever you're ready, just bringing that body back into that position that feels good to you. And once again, check in with the energy. What does it feel like in the body? Right? Where are you having any feelings? And if anybody like to share, of course, we would like to experience what you have to share.
Thank you very much for a beautiful session today. Tiffany, I always enjoyed your session.
Thank you.
Very relaxing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give me moments where I'm just here with my body, with my sensation, and didn't think about anything else.
Cool. That's the goal. That's the goal. All right. To just to be here in that space and not to be thinking about things, right? Cool. Anybody else? How you feeling? What you thinking?
When I had my eyes closed, I think I saw every shade of yellow that was possible.
Yeah. What did it feel like?
Just, I don't know, just different waves and different, the warm and the cool of the yellows, and my body temperature kind of, regulated with it. So it's really
Cool. 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 Feeling that inner energy. That's cool. That's what we come here for. Cool. My pleasure. Thank you. Cool. So if no one else likes to share, we'll go ahead and end out. I like to end with my palms placed at heart center and facing one another. And I end today with the saying that my teachers taught me and their teachers taught them, and so forth. And our saying goes that we wish that all beings are safe. We wish that all beings are healthy. We wish that all beings find love, that all beings know peace, and that all beings move through their lives with fun and with easiness. And then we bow. And when we rise, we say together, Namaste. And although Namaste is Sanskrit, in English, Namaste means that the light and the good in me recognizes that there is light and good in each and every one of you. Once again, my name is Coach Tiffany. Thank you for allowing me to share space with you on this Saturday afternoon. Everyone have an awesome and an amazing day. Thank you.